Utte Nanaranga, a very joyful, delightful, playful atmosphere. Amayaya Vasiya Achena Gora Chandra Kichu Nahi Bale Jata Kare Bhakta Brinda. As Gora Chandra sat in his full glory, he did not say anything about the devotees' activities. In other words, he didn't say, no, because other times, it's interesting, in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, depending on what he's trying to teach or what he is trying to show or exemplify, and other times when the devotees, they start speaking to him, saying, oh, you are the Lord, why are you serving us, why are you carrying our dhotis, why are you folding our clothes and rendering humble service? So, you're actually the Lord, you are a worshipable Lord. And he said, no, I'm the Bhakta, das. He would block his ears. So we see some pastimes where he's completely denying the fact that he's Bhagavan. That no, I'm like you, I'm also a das. I'm Krishna Das, I'm simply a servant of the Lord. Nothing more, nothing less. Das. But now, the devotees are recognizing that they're recognizing his supremacy. Because in an earlier class, which none of you have heard, but we're continuing these classes in different locations. A few days ago in an earlier class in Vrindavan, we were hearing how the devotees were offering prayers, different prayers, a series of prayers in this chapter from Madhya Kanda of Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 9. One devotee after another was offering prayers. You are Narayan, you are Nrsinga, they were recognizing, understanding, you are the Sarva Avatari. You are the source of all the Leela avatars and Das avatars. Meena, the fish avatar, and Korma. So they were already understanding. Everyone was collectively understanding in that gathering in Srivas Thakur's house, which numbered about 200 devotees, all very confidential, intimate devotees. They were recognizing, yes, our Nimai Pandit, our class friend, he was a class school friend of many of them, and our contemporary, our fellow Navadvip Vasi, the Brahmin community, he's actually Bhagavan. God is walking amongst us. God is amongst us. It's very interesting. It almost sounds parallel to the Bible, at least the New Testament with Jesus. That at one moment he was one of them, and the next moment they said, oh, he's God. And he said, no, God is the Father, I am the Son of God. And his followers, they had different opinions. And of course nowadays, modern Christians, they often propagate that Jesus is God. They say that. Jesus is God. Not godly or godlike, or not a pure representative of God, or a Kripa Shakti Murti of God, but He is God. And so they kind of expanded His preeminence by advertising like this. But He Himself always said, I and the Father are one. Well, that's a fact. We are parts of God. We are also minute, eternal consciousness. Satchidananda. We are minute, and we are Vibhu. We are Anu, and Krishna is Vibhu. He's great, vast, and we are a small particle of the vast consciousness. He is a vast, unlimited individual consciousness with His own individual form and abode. And we also are part. We have our own individual abode, spiritual abode and spiritual form. It's very interesting looking out this window of this classroom. It seems like people are coming up from the hellish regions. They're coming up the stairs as if they're coming from the underworld. And we're all floating on some cloud, this white cloud. We've all been saved because you're sitting here, first to see a person's head come up to the window, then the shoulders, and it's a very macabre view. You look out and see someone, and then the full form manifests. So we have this. It's a fact, as Jesus said. Man is made in the image of God. So the devotees here are realizing, yes, we thought you were a bhakta like us, but now we realize that you, in fact, are Bhagavan. So the Lord Chaitanya is not saying stop. At this juncture in time, He's not saying stop. Don't worship me. Don't treat me like Bhagavan. Offer me betel nuts and puja and archan and all artik and all these prayers and prarthana and artik. I'm accepting it all. Now I'm Bhagavan. And you're all my dasas, you're all my servants, and I'm accepting it. He's not stopping them, and not saying Vishnu, Vishnu, or don't ever say this. Nana Vida Pushpa Sabe Parapadmediya Chahi Prabhu Bali Pade Dandavatahana. The devotees offered various flowers at his lotus feet and then offered obeisances while saying, Chahi Prabhu Bali Pade, O Lord, please protect us. This is a standard modus operandi, that when someone, especially when the demigods, you see throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, whenever the demigods are offering prayers or they're in difficulty, and Lord Vishnu or one of his various avatars appears before the demigods, or they go to petition the help of the Lord, then they assemble before the Lord and they offer so many prayers. The demigods, when they're offering prayers, they say, my Lord, you're so great, you're this, you're that. And then after the last thing is the bottom line, as we say. They say, oh, by the way, please protect us. Their prayers always end up like this. Please protect us. Oh God, be our order supplier. As Prabhupada often, he takes issue with the Christians. They don't approach God to serve God and be the order supplier of God or fulfill His orders or desires. They try to enlist God as their humble servant. And sometimes we make a joke that we say, we have this mantra we chant, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Srila Prabhupada gave us a translation. It's called Mantra Artha Chintata. Mantra Art. Arth means the valuable object, something worthy, venerable. Something desirable is art. And unart means something undesirable, something we don't want, which is against our benefit, unbeneficial, deleterious or harmful. So then Prabhupada said that we should think or meditate, oh Mother Hara, oh energy of the Lord, oh Srimati Radharani, please engage me in the service of Krishna. I think everyone's familiar with this statement of Srila Prabhupada. And he said, oh Hara, which in the vocative when you're calling out, like we say Lalita Sakhi, but if we were to call Lalita, we would say Lalite, or Radha. We don't say Radha, we say Radhe. There's an E on the end. The A becomes E. Vishake. We say Vishaka. When you say Vishake, oh Vishake. Well, this is interesting. The next verse. Keha kaku kare jaya dhvani chatur dige ananda krandan matra shuni. Some devotees spoke with humility, and someone offered praises to the Lord. Only the sound of ecstatic crying was heard in the four directions. So that was a premonition. These ecstatic crying children. So the Chatur Dige Ananda Krandan. So we can understand this word Krandan means crying. So crying has different categories. There's Anand. Ananda Krandan means blissful crying. It's like saying, because generally crying is associated with distress or unhappiness or disappointment. Then one cries out of lamentation or being bereaved or separated from a loved one or whatever. They cry. But there's also crying out of joy, which is more rare. So this is not only joy but ananda. They were in bliss. Everyone was actually relishing the godhood of Lord Chaitanya. All of the devotees, they were waiting for this moment because it's predicted in the Shastras. And the Advaitacharya and Srivas Thakur and all the other, they're pundits. Practically all Lord Chaitanya's associates, intimate associates, are pundits. Gangadas Pandit, Jagannananda Pandit, Srivas Pandit. They're all pundits and acharyas. They're all Brahmins. So they're well versed in Itihas and Puran and Shruti Smriti Prashtan. So they know about the Chana avatar for Kali Yuga. It's predicted in 7th canto of Bhagavatam, the Chana avatar, the hidden avatar. And they know that in Kali Yuga, and even it's said in some places that he will descend as the son of Sachinandan. It's said, the Lord in Kali Yuga will appear as the son of Mother Sachi. So they know this. They knew this 500 years ago. It's not that we know it. What do we know compared to the Vaitacharya and Srivas Thakur and these other? Srivas is a pundit. So they understood, many of them understood that this Nimai Pandit, who was absorbed in his scholastic Leela, the proud scholar, the boy genius, that he would soon reveal his godhood. They were waiting, they were eager and anxious. When will the day come? So now the day is coming and he's revealing his godhood, Bhagavatva. And they're reveling in the revelation. They're enjoying it. They're really relishing. Oh, we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting 20 years. Now Lord Chaitanya is about 20 years old. 21, around 20. We've been waiting 20 years till you would grow up. You finally grew up. You grew out of your ego. You grew out of your pride. The proud scholar, Digvijay. I defeated Kashmiri Pandit. In a humble way, a sweet way, an endearing way. But nevertheless, if you defeat the champion, then who are you? You're the new champion. You're the new Digvijay. So that Nimai was... Then Navadvip became glorious with that victory over the Kashmiri Pandit. And of course, the victor became glorious. Navadvip became famous and glorious, and Navadvip Chandra, Nimai Pandit, became even more glorious and famous throughout India. Because at that time, 500 years ago, Navadvip was the capital of Naya. Just like Las Vegas is the capital of sin. America, Las Vegas. It's one of the 4 pilgrimage places for materialists. If you want to get liberation, you have to visit 4 pilgrimage places. Las Vegas, Disney World, Paris, and New York. In the old days, our grandparents would tell us, if you see the Char Dham, Badrinath, Rameshwaram, Dwarka Dham, and Jagannath Puri, if you have darshan of these Char Dham in one lifetime, then you'll get mukti prapti. So now the Char Dham is something different. So the capital of sin, Las Vegas. Kali lives there and abounds there. So the capital of Naya, the capital of learning, for all of India 500 years ago, which we may not know because we don't know maybe so much history, but it is a fact, an objective fact. It's not a subjective ISKCON fact or Gaudiya fact. It's actually a historical fact that Nadia district, and specifically Navadvip, not really Mayapur, but Navadvip area, Nadia, was the capital of Naya. Anyone who wanted to learn Naya or logic would have to come there. And the scholars of Navadvip were famous. So all the scholars from India, if they want to establish their prestige and fame in the field of Naya, either they would come here to learn to Navadvip, or they would come here to challenge. Because Navadvip was famous. These are the best logicians, the best pundits of Naya. And of course Naya, Vyakaran, Itihas, Jyotish, the other subject matters. But especially Naya. So if you were from South India, from Udupi or Srirangam or anywhere, Benares, and you were famous there, but you couldn't really claim fame to your pandithood or your ability and knowledge until you journeyed on a yatra to Nadia and tangled with the scholars there. And if you came out without any scratches, and you're actually successful, then when you went back to Benares, oh, you went to Navadvip? Yes. And I Veni Vedi Viki. Veni Vedi, like Caesar says, Veni Vedi Viki. I came, I saw, and I conquered. So I came, they say like that. We went, yes, I went there, I met Madhusudan Vachaspati. I met this one, that one. Really? And you won or you lost? Well, I met him. I can say I met him, but I didn't tangle with him. So this Nimai Pandit, he was coming from this atmosphere. So that is why the Kashmiri Pandit, his name was Keshav Pandit. That is why he went from Kashmir down to Navadvip. He wasn't going for a ride on the Ganga or to swim with the porpoises. He wanted me because he said, I'm Digvijay. I'm famous in the 4 directions, but I have yet to conquer this place. This will be the feather in my cap, as they say. The Mukutmani, Vidya Mukutmani, the jewel in the crown of knowledge, Vidya Mukutmani, would be gained by being victorious in Nadia. So he went there. And the procession is described. Did you ever read about the procession of Kashmiri Pandit? he went with elephants. The guy, it wasn't some small timer with a laptop in his pocket. He's not a small timer with a laptop in his shoulder bag. He came with so many elephants and so many pundits and so many virgin girls carrying water pots on their heads. It was a huge, huge procession. Here he, boom, 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 boom. Procession, big noise, boom, boom, boom. Right? Because in those days, knowledge was respected. Knowledge was appreciated, especially in India. Bharat, Varasha. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. There's an organization in Bombay and around India, Delhi also. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. And they interviewed Srila Prabhupada in 1975. They sent a group of questions to him. And then that later became a book which has changed its title over the years. Civilization and Transcendence. Very small paperback book. And all kinds of nice questions. Well, Srila Prabhupada, do you think we should revive the ancient caste system of India? And all these type of questions. Right? Many people in India are devout demigod worshippers. Should they continue to worship demigods, or what is your suggestion for them? It's very relevant and very good book. I often give it to suggest new students of ours to read it. Indian students, because it's quite quote unquote Indian type of things. It's very good. So now the Pandit has become God. Everyone's happy, and they're crying in the four directions. Kiyat Bhutta Sukhaila Nisara Pravesh. Ye Aisa Sena Yena Vaikunta Pravesh. What wonderful happiness arose as night fell. Whoever came there felt like they were entering Vaikunta. So this is called Aishvarya Mahi. This pastime, there's Aishvarya Mahi Lila and Madhurya Mahi Lila. So in this Lila, Lord Chaitanya, he's manifesting his godhood, but not his godhood in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is Krishna is also God. And of course he acts like a Nara Lila, Madhurya Lila, very sweet, intimate, human-like. And sometimes he kills some very vast, ferocious, and fierce demons, but that's only done by the Vishnu within him, the Vaikuntanath within him. This display of power, grandeur, opulence, that Vaikuntha aspect of himself comes out and kills Putin or Aghasura or Bakasura. And he's just a tender boy playing with his friends, romping, playing, dancing, singing, swimming, splashing, stealing butter and yogurt. So here, when Lord Chaitanya, that intimate Pandit, friend of everyone, the leader, the inaugurator of the Sankirtan movement, when he's showing his godhood, he's in the mood of Vaikuntha, Vaikuntanath. That was mentioned earlier also. And that's why it's saying that the mood, the atmosphere of Vaikuntha appeared there. That sounds very strange. Because they're in Mayapur. Srivas Sangam, this is taking place in Srivas Thakur's house and his mandir. And then Navadvip Mayapur, this is Gupta Vrindavan, this is Vrindavan. This is Audarya Vrindavan and Madhurya Vrindavan. As Lord Chaitanya is in Mayapur, he's remembering Radha Krishna Lila and distributing Radha Krishna Lila from Mayapur, from Navadvip. It's not a separate, it's like two sides of one coin. One coin has two sides, Audarya, Madhurya, Braja Lila, then Gaur Lila. Braja Lila, it's the Lila for itself, by itself, relishing themselves within Radha and Krishna, relishing each other's service, happiness, love, with each other and for each other, contained within themselves. But when they absorb themselves into each other's identity, then they distribute to others. Then that becomes Mahaprabhu. Prabhura Haila Maha Aishvarya Prakash Joda Haste Samukhe Rahila Sarvadas. In this way, the Lord, Mahaprabhu, manifested his supreme opulences. Maha Aishvarya Prakash. Sound familiar? Aishvarya. This is Aishvarya, Vaikuntha Lila. Maha Aishvarya Prakash. This is all Aishvarya. Big puja, big manifestation, big prarthana, big prayers. Jodahaste Sammukhe Rahila Sarvadas. And all his servants stood before him with folded hands. Dasosmi. Dasosmi. I am your servant. So this is Vaikuntha Bhav. But in Brajabhav, you never see Sri Ram and Subal. Oh, Krishna, good morning. They say, hey, Krishna, get up, you're late. We're waiting for you. Hey, the sun is rising, you stupid. Let's go. We know what you did last night. Come on. No excuses. Rise and shine. Bhaktange angadiya parapadma meli lilaya achena ghora singha kutuhali. The lion-like Ghora Singha happily enjoyed his pastimes while extending his feet and touching the bodies of the devotees. So this is quite interesting. Bhaktange angadiya dia parapadma meli. As you know, oftentimes in Chaitanya Leela, Nityananda tries to touch Chaitanya's feet, or Advaita tries to touch Nityananda's feet, and they're wrestling, and no, don't touch my feet, no, don't. It's considered, it's a very low part of my body, because the devotee every devotee feels very humble, please don't touch my feet. But out of humility, we want the dust, kripakaro, I want the dust of your feet. No, and we run away. So Lord Chaitanya was the same way, very shy and very conservative, and not wanting to take some proud position. Yes, touch the dust of my feet, I'm big Mahant, big Jagat Guru. No ego there. Amani na amani dena kirtaniya sadahari. Amani means no ego, no pride, dignity. I am something special. No, we're all the same. So here it's quite the contrary. In this Maha Aishwarya Prakash Leela, and his mood of Bhagavan, and Bhagavan doors are open. Mercy wholesale. He's extending his feet. Here. Pradaya, Kripa Pradaya, take the mercy. Touch my feet. How fortunate one could be. The Lord Chaitanya is extending his feet to us. Extending his feet. And then it said, and touching the bodies of the devotees. Varan Mukha Hayelena Shri Gora Sundar Joda Haste Rahilena Savanuchar. As Sri Gora Sundar was about to give benedictions, all of his followers stood before him with folded hands. So it's very much, this is the Bhagavan aspect of puja, prayers, puja, archan, kirtan, submission, then, by the way, can I have a benediction? So he's ready. The Lord is ready, because this is the dessert. This is the usual progression. Puja krama. We have this concept of shruti fal, or fal shruti. The fal, the fruit of the shruti. You chant some prayer, or you chant some Gopal Sahasranam, and at the end, there's a whole section that's even called fal shruti. So now you've chanted, you've glorified Gopal with 1,000 names. What do you get for it? What is the benefit you receive or derive from that rendering of service of prarthana, offering prayers? Then it says, if you chant this on a full moon, if you chant on Ekadasi, you get this, you get that. If you don't have a child, if a woman doesn't have if a couple doesn't have a child, and they chant this Gopal Sahasranam, then they will be blessed with a child. Acha, really? What was that prayer? Ladies, write down Gopal Sahasranam. So these benedictions are there. So this seems to be the sequence of things. So also, when one does puja or worship, then there's what is called sankalpa. Or sankalpa means you take a resolve before you engage in activity. You say, oh my Lord, I'm performing this austerity or puja. Actually, I have some motivation. I need your help or mercy or blessings. And then when you conclude, you ask. So the Lord has received all this glorification, all this worship from the devotees, and all this expressions of humility and respect and awe and reverence, Aishwarya. Now he's ready. Okay, the benediction treasure box is opened. I'm about to give benedictions. So they're all standing with folded hands. Shata praharya bhave sarva jane jane amayaya prabhu kripa karina apane. During this Satapraharya bhav, the Lord bestowed mercy on everyone without duplicity. agya haila shridarere jattagya an asya dehukamara prakasha bhidan. Mahaprabhu said, quickly, and gave his agya, go bring Sridhar, let him come and behold my opulences. This is Kulavesha Sridhar. So apparently he wasn't there at that assembly, but the Lord is remembering him and wanting him to come and see this. Because you know the story of Kulavesha Sridhar. Kulavesha Sridhar, he was not a Brahmin as I know. At any rate, his occupation was selling banana leaves. So it's doubtful that he was a Brahmin, because generally they weren't working on computers like nowadays. The Brahmins were engaged in Brahminical activities, studying or whatever. But I'm not sure. But at any rate, this is whom he is calling the Kulavesha Sridhar, and he's not there in this particular event. But the Lord is remembering him and wanting him to witness this 21 hours, this manifestation of his opulence, or his Aishvarya Bhav, Praharya, this 21 hours Bhav of this Vaikuntha. Basically, Lord Chaitanya is manifesting Vaikuntha Bhav. He's a Mayapura Bhav. Mayapura is Audarya Leela, which is Madhurya Leela, basically. And Vaikuntha is another type of Leela. So Mayapura, turn Mayapura into Vaikuntha is like riding business class and going back to economy class. If you're in economy class, business class, you're not going to downgrade your ticket. No one downgrades their ticket, do they? You upgrade your ticket to go in a higher class. So now, Mayapur Dham, where Lord Chaitanya is usually in Srivasangam, in the Shant Leela, in the Astakali Leela of Mahaprabhu, when he's in Srivasangam in the evening kirtans, they start singing about Braj Leela, in Radha Govinda's Ras Leela, and everyone assumes they're Braj Bhav. Lord Chaitanya goes into the Braj Bhav as Krishna, Sham Sundar, and Gadadhar goes into Braj Bhav as Radharani, and they're dancing in the Sankirtan in the Ras Leela, Bhav of Ras Leela. That's the general mood of Mayapur. But now it's like he's Vaikuntanath. This is it's unusual thing. So he's downgraded his ticket from Braj Leela to Vaikuntha Leela. And that's right out of Nectar Instruction, right? Higher than Vaikuntha. What does it say in Nectar Instruction? Higher than Vaikuntha is Mathura. Higher than Mathura is what? Vrindavan, because of the Rasa Leela. And higher than the Rasa Leela is Govardhan. And higher than Govardhan is Radhakund. Radhakund is the topmost place in the universe. So all of that is the same as Mayapur. Mayapur, there's also Radhakund, there's also Govardhan. Everything is there in Navadvip. So now it's becoming Vaikuntha? And that's an upgrade or a downgrade? It's a downgrade. It's Leela. I'm just giving you some idea. So Kulavesha Sridhar doesn't know anything about this Aishvarya, Maha Aishvarya Prakash Leela of Mahaprabhu. What does he know about Mahaprabhu? He knows he comes and steals my banana leaves. He's a thief, he's a chore, he's a Kela chore. He comes and steals my bananas. He gets together with one of his Brahmin buddies and they get some old chadar. Four Brahmins get together. They cover themselves with a chadar. And they come into my garden at night, about 12 o'clock at night under the full moon. They have this big great chadar. And one Brahmin stands in the front like this, underneath the chadar, and puts his fingers up. And that represents the two horns of the bull. And the other two guys are the four legs. And so when I look out my window, I see this bull moving in my banana patch. And then Nimai Pandit is ripping off all the bananas and giving them to the boys under the chadar. So Nimai Pandit disguises himself underneath this chadar to steal my bananas. This is Vaikuntanath? This is Narayan? Sarvakarna Karnam? Maheshwaram? Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachi? This is the Maheshwaram? This Pandit has become a thief. So this is how the most intimate Nara Leela, human-like pastimes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shares with Kulavesha Sridhar. This is the Gora that he knows. All unlimited intimacy and sweetness. And then they bargain, they have arguments. Lord Chaitanya picks up a leaf plate when he goes to buy a leaf plate. Sridhar, how much is this? That is 1 rupee. I give you 5 paisa. 5 paisa. It cost me 10. No, I'll give you 2. Listen, Nimai. I'll tell your father, you can't catch me. I'm not going to pay anything. Ha ha, bye. And he runs away with the leaf plate. This is regularly going on with Kolavechar. And he loved it. He loved every minute of it. So Lord Chaitanya he's thinking, call Sridhar, let him see me now. In other words, if my mother could only see me now. Some guy his mother maybe died when he was 5, and later on, when he's 30 years old, he becomes an astronaut. And he's flying in outer space 30,000 miles above the earth, weightlessly floating around his spacecraft. And he's thinking, if my mother could only see me now. She only knew me when I was a 5-year-old child, and then she died. But now I'm flying in the sky like an astronaut, or not. So Lord Chaitanya is thinking, look, come and see me now, Sridhar. He'll be stupefied and amazed. This is a saint. I didn't realize that little thief of my bananas, he used to bargain so vigorously. He would make any Punjabi look like nothing in the marketplace. Punjabis think they're good dealers, and they go to buy something, they try to Jew down the guy to the lowest price. If he asks you for 5 rupees, you try to get it for 2. What to speak about Sindhis, they try to get it for half a rupee. So Lord Chaitanya was like that, and when he was bargaining with in Kolavechar Sridhar, he used to sometimes fold his hands in great humility. You have to understand, he's like 40 years older than Nimai, right? He's like an old man. Sridhar's folding his hands. He says, Nimai, please, I beg you, I'm just trying to get a few paisa to worship Mother Ganga. Half of everything I spend, I use for worshipping my mother Ganga, and the other half I feed my wife and children. Please, I'm only asking for a couple of paisa. Why are you arguing over every half a paisa? So this was their Leela, the Nimai Pandit and Kolavechar. So then he wants him to come and see this. Let him see this. Prakash, Asya Dehukamora Prakasha Bidhan, Niravari Bhave More, Bharadukapan, Asya Dehukamore, Jatta Anagya. Mahaprabhu says, as he constantly thinks of me, he feels great unhappiness. Bring him at once, so he may see my glories. Nagarera Antegya Takiha Vasya Jay More Takaye Tareya Niha Dhariya. Mahaprabhu said, go to the edge of town and wait there. Bring that person who is calling out my name. Daila Vaishnavagan Prabhura Vachan Agyalai Ghela Twara Shidara Bhavan. Following Mahaprabhu's order, a group of Vaishnavas rushed to the house of Sridhar. Say Sridharera Kichu Shunaha Akyan Kolahara Pasarakari Rakki Nijapran. Now here are the topics about Sridhar. I guess I gave a small preview. I didn't pre-read this at all, but I have read this Chaitanya Bhagavat a few times, and now it's coming. So now here are the topics about Sridhar. He earned his livelihood by selling banana leaves. Ekbara kolagachi kiniya anaya khani khani kari taha katiya vechaya. He would buy one banana tree, cut it into pieces, and then sell those pieces. Tahate je kichuhai divase upai tara arda gangara naivedya lagi jai. He offered half of whatever he earned in a day in worship of the Ganges. Ardeke Sodhaya Haya Nija Prana Raksha Ematahaya Vishnu Bhaktara Pariksha. With the other half he maintained his life. This is the test of a devotee of Vishnu. Vishnu Bhakta Pariksha. So this is where we hear Rupa Goswami is telling us, which is more maybe familiar to us than the pastimes of Kolavechar Sridhar. But in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, when Rupa Goswami retired from active service in the government of the Muslim magistrate, then he was rewarded quite gorgeously or fabulously with all kinds of gold coins. And then he dispersed his wealth in a particular way, as most people know. He gave 50% for the service of Krishna. Means Brahmins means service of Krishna. And the other for family and himself and the merchants. So Prabhupada cites this example, and this is further from on here in this Chaitanya Bhagavat. It's Chaitanya Bhagavat is Bhagavat Puran. Bhagavat Praman and Bhagavat Praman. In the Bhagavat Mahatmya itself, it says that Srimad Bhagavatam is Amalagyanam Pramanam. This is the Amalagyan. It is pure knowledge and it is Praman. It is evidence. It is solid evidence. Irrefutable and undefeatable evidence for the absolute truth. So, as the Srimad Bhagavatam has that characteristic, so does the Chaitanya Bhagavat, because it's written by the same author. Vedavyas is in fact, Vrindavan Das Thakur. So, Prabhupada takes the Nectar of Devotion example and says, yes, members of the Krishna consciousness movement, they should do like this also. Half of their income, 50% of their income, they should give to utilize for the service of Krishna. So that's one example. Now we have another example from Chaitanya Bhagavat of the life of Kulavesha Sridhar, which we have just heard. That 50% of his income from selling banana leaves, he donated or utilized for the worship of Ganga. And the other 50% he used for his family. So he was living in a so you get an interesting example here. Rupa Goswami Pad, he had literally millions and millions of dollars. He had boatloads full of gold coins. And he gave 50% of his income was given to the Brahmins, which means to Krishna. And that meant millions of dollars. Now on the other side, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, you have another individual, Grihastha, Kulavesha Sridhar. He's also exemplifying the same principle. He's also giving 50% of his income on a daily basis. But he's a pauper. It means a poor person. Daridra. One's a Dani, one's a Daridra. Rupa Goswami's a Dani and Sridhar is a Daridra. So Daridra, but the principle is the same. So this is what we want to learn from these two examples. The principle is, here's the principle. The detail may vary according to circumstance, Kaladesha and Patra. The principle is that these Vaishnavas, one was very poor and just had an old broken iron cup he was drinking water from, but he employed the principle, 50%, whatever I get, I will worship my Ishtadev. I will worship Ma Ganga. Ma Ganga is Krishna's energy, is Krishna's Charanamrita. So he was spending 50% in worship of Ma Ganga. And he was poor, so his 50% represented 1 rupee, 1 paisa, 150 anna, or whatever they had. All these small measurements of money in those days. And Rupa Goswami, his 50%, the principle, his employing of 50% engaged in Krishna's service was millions of dollars. So this is an interesting point. And Prabhupada often says this. Of course, practically nowadays it's impossible. It's not practical nowadays, somehow or other. If you get 50% of your net income, then you might as well donate your wife too. Because if first time you give 50% paycheck to the temple, your wife will be in the next donation. She says, look, I'm out of here. I can't exist on this few pennies that's left. If you can give 10%, then you're a great hero. And then probably in a few years from now, we'll be sitting here saying, if you can give anything, if you can give anything of your income, then it'll be most appreciated. Your donations will be gladly accepted. So he was heroic in charity. This term in Nectar Devotion is called Danavira. Danavira means to be heroic in charity, giving sumptuously. And this is the Vishnu Bhakta Pariksha. As according to Vedavyas Vrindavan Das Thakur, Vishnu Bhakta Pariksha. This is the test of a Vishnu Bhakta. Are you giving half of your income to Krishna? This is a verse. Ardeka saudhaya, haya nija pran raksha, e mattahaya Vishnu Bhaktera Pariksha. With the other half, Sridhar maintained his life. And the first verse, he spent half in the daily worship of Ganga. This is the test of a devotee of Vishnu. Now, Vrindavan Thakur picks up, is continuing the thread of the story. He's telling the story. Lord Chaitanya is not speaking. This is Vrindavan Thakur describing the Mahima, or the Vaishnava Mahima of Sridhar. Firstly, the juncture of the story, for those who came late, is that Lord Chaitanya is in Srivas Thakur's house showing his Mahabhav Prakash, 21 hours of ecstatic Aishwarya Bhav. This is Aishwarya Bhav. He's in the mood of Vaikuntanath, and letting all the devotees know clearly and absolutely that he alone is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaikuntanath. So they're worshipping him with all grandeur and opulence. And now he's calling, please, call Sridhar, Kulaveshwar Sridhar, let him see me now. In other words, he knows me as a banana stealer of bananas. He doesn't know me as Vaikuntanath. He doesn't know me as Virat Rup. He doesn't know me as Das Avatar. He doesn't know me as all these. So call him, let him witness this. So then there's an interlude in the story. There's an interlude where because Lord Chaitanya is speaking that. Yes, someone go quickly, call Kulaveshwar, go to the edge of town and call him. Go find that person who is at the edge of town calling out my name. Gora, 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 Gora. Because he was there. He wasn't there in that assembly in Srivas Thakur's house. He was just crying day and night, Gora, Gora, because his heart was stolen. Not only were his bananas stolen by Nimai Pandit, but most importantly, his pran was stolen. Pranachor. There's Kelachor, Pranachor. So stealing Kela, that's nothing, but stealing pran, that's a serious crime. It's a very serious crime if you steal someone's pran. Samaste? Ji ha. Maji. Pran, if you steal someone's heart, that's a very grave crime against a person. One sannyasi was traveling once in the West, and he said, I have not come here to collect money. I have not come here to take anything from you, but I have only come here to steal your hearts. I want to sprinkle your hearts with Hari Katha, and I want to steal your hearts and offer them to Radha and Krishna. It's a very nice concept. So we can only pray for the day when our hearts could become stolen. Will become when, oh when, kada, 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 kada. Kada means when will that day come? Kada krishya siyamam kripa kataksha bhajanam. Right? Munindravrinda vandite chiloka shoka harani prasana vakcha pankaje nikunja bhuvilasani prajenda bananandane prajenda sunasamgate kada krishya siyamam kripa kataksha bhajanam. Nikunja nivasini Radhika. Oh, Nikunja Nivasini, you're always residing in the beautiful Nikunjas of Braj. Will you ever glance just once? Not even a full-on, straight-on glance, eye to eye. I'm not asking for eye-to-eye contact. I'm asking for kripa kataksha. Kataksha. Kata aksha. Just a corner of one eye. Just one corner of one eye falls upon me, then I will be delivered once and for all. So this is the mood of the devotees. So the Lord is calling for Sridhar, and now Vrindavan Das Thakur. So then if you're reading the storyline, you'll say, well, who is Sridhar? And why is Lord Chaitanya calling out for Sridhar? He's surrounded by all his most confidential and intimate associates. Isn't that enough? What more? Oh, someone's missing. Call Sridhar. And everyone said, who's he? Of course, most people know who he is, because everyone's buying banana leaves and bananas. Especially Brahmins are buying banana trees all the time for puja and yagya, etc. And Mangala Dristi. It creates a Mangala Vastu to have this Kela and the yagya arena. It's a requirement, actually. So now we're hearing about his glories, the Mahima, the great glories of the Lord. Bhagavat, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Bhagavat. Means the glories of Chaitanya, but God is not alone. He's always with his devotees. Sangha. So the Bhagavatam is the glories of Bhagavan, and of course his devotees. Like what is a woman without ornaments? And what is her? This is the embellishment of a woman. Is the gold? Is that all these ornaments? That's her beauty, or enhances her beauty. What is the beauty of Bhagavan without the Sarubhushanam? The Sarubhushanam, Bhushanam means the ornament. The ornaments of the devotees are the devotees. That makes the Lord more embellished and beautiful. So we're hearing about the great glories. Now what is Vrindavan? Now we hear how frugal he is, how dedicated he is, how renounced he is, to give up 50% of his income for Ganga Puja every day. Now let's hear some more qualities of a great devotee. These are the qualities. Vishnu Bhakta Pariksha. If you want to examine, Pariksha means to examine. Oh, let's examine you. You go to the doctor, he examines you. Oh, you have this problem, that problem. Or in Ayurveda, they take your hand. It's called Nadi Pariksha, isn't it? Nadi Pariksha. Oh, your liver's congested, and your husband's angry with you. No, they don't tell you that. They can tell you about your body, but not about your heart. So if you want to examine, what is a Vishnu Bhakta? What makes him tick? What does he think? How does he act? What does he do? Well, he works. I work, he works. Well, what does he do with his money when he works? He earns an income and a profit. What does he do with his money? Well, he maintains his family. Well, I do that too. I maintain my family. Yes, you maintain your family with every paisa and pi. But he maintains his family with half his income. Acha? You mean his wife lets him get away with the other half? If his wife lets him get away with the other half of the income, she doesn't take the full income? No. The other half of his income, he worships the Ganga. Oh, well, that's different. Because I'm not a Vishnu Bhakta. I'm a devotee of my wife. I'm a Patni Bhakta. So my Patni clears out the whole account. I bring every week I bring 15,000 rupees home, or 20,000, and I hand it to her and Haribol. Say goodbye. It's gone. So now what's another quality of the examiner devotee? Mahasatya Vadi Teno Jaina Yudhisthira Jaraje Mulyabale Nahaya Bahir. Sridhar, Kulavesha Sridhar, was as truthful as Maharaj Yudhisthira. Mahasatyavadi. Satyavad. Vad means speech. Vad. Mahasatyavad. He was completely topmost exponent of truth. It's even told, if someone can imagine how difficult it is, especially in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, this is the age of untruth. And this person is living 500 years ago. Kali Yuga is running full on. 500 years ago, Kali Yuga is on. But he is being glorified as Mahasatya Vadi. He's being compared to Yudhisthira. Yudhisthira is a Nishaparishad of Vishnu, Vaikuntanath, in the spiritual world. And Yudhisthira was like a prehistoric animal. He's living thousands of years ago. He's living 4,500 years ago, before Kulavesha Sridhar. 4,500 years ago, predating Kulavesha Sridhar, which was at the very end of Dwapara Yuga, where there were still some godly qualities, at least 50%. Kali Yuga was just on the onset. And he was being famous. He was so truthful. His chariot never touched the ground. Everyone hears about the greatness of his truth, Yudhisthira. He was stira in fighting. He was very fixed, Yudha stir. He's very fixed, immovable in his vow to fight, or in his determination to fight. Yudha stir. But he's also Satyastir. He was very immovable in his determination to tell the truth in any circumstance. Even God is asking him to lie. He says, forget it. God, you're telling me to lie. I won't lie. You have to make some adjustment. Ashwatthama, the elephant, is dead. So he, naturally so many people were truthful. But now Kali Yuga, 4,500 years later, in Navadvip in Bengal, and what to speak of now, he's being known as Mahasatyavadi, Satyavad. He's being compared to Kulavesha Sridhar. Is he a Kshatriya? Is he of royalty and nobility? A Panch Pandava? Glorious, illustrious person, such a hero, such an exalted person with so many. No, he's a banana. He sells bananas. What is he? He's like a Mali. I'm not sure if he's a Brahmin, maybe he's a Brahmin, I can't remember, but he's posing, at least posing as a Mali, and Yudhisthira was not posing as a Mali. You know what a Mali is? Right? Mali, gardener, Mali, is that right? So, Yudhisthira Maharaj was not posing. Posing means showing himself as a gardener. But this Mali is being compared to Maharaj Yudhisthira. That's not a small-time thing. This is very serious. And each verse of this Bhagavad, this is the Bhagavatam. Of course, there's no particular purport here, but we're speaking something what we can understand. That it's amazing that Kulaveshwar Sridhar is being compared. Then he never deviated from whatever price he fixed. Mulya. It's like the Gita Press books. They used to write the price on the front of the books with 15 or 20. Then people would scratch it out and make 20 into 30. Then they caught the idea. Don't write it in a number, write it by words. Tis rupya. Pachis rupya. Mulya, pachis rupya. They used to write 50 rupees on the book. And then the bookseller would take his pen and write 60. He would turn the 5 into a 6 or into an 8. And he said, how
Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Srirupam Bhajamaya Vindalaya Taksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Karnapakotidamaniya Vishesha Shubha Vidravasya Govinda Hari Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Vimate Bhakti Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Vajabhakata Vatsala Sri Gaurahari Sri Gaurahari Sahi Goshta Bihari Nanda Jasomati Chitahari Ela holo Damodara Ishaye Kono Bhova Mandire Bashi Karaha Bojano Nandera Nideshe Bashi Giri Baradari Baladeva Saha Sokka Boise Sari Sari Shukta Shakhari Vaji Lalita Kushmanda Dalidana Dugda Tumi Dadi Mocha Kanda Buddha Bora Mash Boda Roti Kabritana Jaskuli Pista Kakir Kuli Payasana Kapura Amrita Keli Ramba Kirashara Amrita Rasalanga Gadasha Pakora Luci Sinisar Puri Ladura Sabali Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali Radhikara Pakayana Bibida Byanjana Paramayanande Krishna Korena Bhojana Chale Bale Ladu Khai Sri Madhu Mandala Bagala Bajayara Deya Hari Bolo Radhikari Gani Heri Nayane Rakone Ripta Hoye Kai Krishna Jasoda Bhavani Bhojanande Piye Krishna Subhasita Bari Sabe Mukha Prakaloy Hoye Sari Sari Astamukha Prakaliya Jata Sakagane Anande Vishrama Kore Baladeva Sane Jambula Rasalane Tambula Masala Tahake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nidra Deva Vishalakashi Pucha Chamara Dulaya Apurva Saya priye danishthayanito Shri Krishna Prasad Radha Gunje hoye prito Lalitari Sakti Gana Avashesha Paya Mane Mane Sukhe Radha Krishna Guna Gaya Hari Lila Ekamatra Jahara Pramoda Bhogarati Gai Thakur Bhakti Vinoda Bhajapa Katha Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Bhajapa Katha Vatsala Sri Gaura Hari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari Sri Gaura Hari Sahi Gosta Bihari Nanda Jasomati Chita Hari Nanda Jasomati Chita Hari Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala Bhaja Govinda Govinda Gopala
Namayom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Vishnu Padaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Krishna Tava Punya bai. Krishna tava punya habe bai. Tava punya habe bai. Krishna tava punya habe bai. E punya koribe jabe Radha Rani খুশি হবে ধ্রুবায়াতি বলি তোমায় তাই করিবে যবে রাধা রানী খুশি হবে ধ্রুবায়াতি বলি তোমায় তাই কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে শ্রী সিদ্ধান্ত সারস্বতী সচিসুত প্রিয়তি সিদ্ধান্ত সরস্বতী সচিসুত প্রিয়তি কৃষ্ণ সেব্যজর তুলনা সেই সে মহন্ত গুরু জগতের মজে উরু কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি দেখায় তাই জগতের মধ্যে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হরে তারা ঈশ্বর বলবান পশায়েতে তান তান ওই যতে গৌরাঙ্গের নাম পৃথিবীতে নাগরারি অসমুদ্র নাগনারী সকলে লই কৃষ্ণ নাম কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে তাহলে আনন্দ হয় তবে হয় দিগ্বিজয় চৈতন্যের কৃপা অতিশয় মায়া দুষ্ট যত দুঃখী জগতে সবাই সুখী বৈষ্ণবের ইচ্ছা পূর্ণ হয় কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে হবে যে করিবারে আজ্ঞা যদি দিল মোরে যোগ্যান আছি আছি বিনাহীনা তাই সে তোমার কৃপা মাগিতেছি অনুরূপা আজি তুমি সবার প্রবীণা কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার হবে পার তোমার সে শক্তি পেলে গুরু সেবা বস্তু মিলে জীবন সার্থক যদি হয় সেই সে সেবা তাহারে সুখী হঠে তব সঙ্গ বাগেতে মিল কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার 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 Skip the next one. Next verse. তুমি মোর চির সাথী ভুলিয়া মায়ার সাথী তুমি মোর চির সাথী ভুলিয়া মায়ার লাজি কয়াছি জন্ম জন্মান্তরে আজ পুনঃ সুযোগ যদি হয় যোগা যোগা তবে ফল তুমি নিবারে যদি হয় তবে ফল তুমি নিবারে কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার তোমার মিলনে ভাই আবার সে সুখ পায় গোচারণে গুরি দিন তোমার মিলনে ভাই আবার সে সুখ পায় গোচারণে গুরি কোতবানে ছুত ছুতি বনে খাই লুটা পুটি, সেই দিনত কবে হবে মর। ওটা বানে ছুটা ছুটি, বনে খাই লুটা পুটি, সেই দিন কবে হবে মর। কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার, কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার, কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার, কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার। আজি সে সুবিধানে তোমার স্মরণে বেলা, বড় আশা দখিলম তাই। আজি শেষ সুবিধানে তোমার স্মরণে বেলা, বড় আশা দখিলম তাই। আমি তোমার নিজ দাস, তাই করিয়েছে আজ, তুমি বিনা অন্য গতি নাই। আমি তোমার দাস, কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার, কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার, কৃষ্ণ তব পুণ্য হবে পার। বস বস হবে পার। এ পুণ্য করিবে যবে, রাধা রানী খুশি হবে, রূপায়াতি বলি তোমায় চায়। এ পুণ্য করিবে যবে, রাধা রানী খুশি হবে, রূপায়াতি বলি তোমায় চায়, রূপায়াতি বলি তোমায় চায়, রূপায়াতি বলি তোমায় চায়, বলি তোমায় চায়। Srila Prabhupada ki